Are the New England Patriots starting to have regrets? Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron. This is Sports Talk Patriots on the daily, pushing out that content to people just like you who can't get enough Patriots football. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment below. Ladies and gentlemen, until the New England Patriots win, this nasty mustache is going to be growing. Actually, probably not. I just haven't shaved. Figured I'd do it maybe December. Who knows? But anyways, I know you don't care about that. What we're going to be talking about today, Gerard Mayo, a ton of comments from his end. We're going to jump into those. As well, we are going to be talking about a veteran player on this team potentially in hot water. So let's jump right into it. First and foremost, Gerard Mayo was quoted saying the other day, "Look, once those guys cross the white lines, there's nothing I can do for them," he told reporters after the Patriots suffered the loss against the Dolphins yesterday, which was Sunday, at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Now, I will say at face value, you see this. When I first heard it, my initial thought was this. What he meant was, listen, we've practiced, we've coached them as much as we can. Once they're on the field and we call the play, it's up to them. That's how I took it. And I think that's how a lot of people took it. But you got to understand, when you're in hot water as a head coach, when you are the captain of the ship and you say something, especially if it can be taken the wrong way, a lot of times the media is going to grasp onto that and they're going to take that and they are going to run with it. Now, Captain, let's see here. Sorry. Here we go. Jawan Bentley had this to say. He said, "No way y'all think that's what he meant by saying that." And so I respect that he's sticking up for his coach. I think a lot of people on this team like Gerard Mayo. We've talked about it before. He is a player's first person, and in the sense of he builds that relationship, he builds that rapport as well. AVP, a lot of people had speculation on AVP. He hadn't been doing great play calling, but a lot of reports suggest that this team loves AVP. Now, Jawan Bentley obviously injured for the rest of the year, and that is shown, especially in the linebacker play yesterday against the Miami Dolphins. But again, having someone as a captain like that in Bentley coming out and defending Gerard Mayo, I think that's a smart move on his part. But as well, other people getting frustrated. Bill Simmons getting frustrated, saying he's playing scared football. And again, I think there's a point to what he's saying. I think it's kind of correct. You look at last week, we looked at there's a field goal he could have went for. I believe it would have been 54 yards. Instead they punted. And again, I think there's times that, and he said this so many times. He says this quote, "Yeah, I've heard that. My thing is I'm always going to do what is best in that moment in time." Sure. So he said, multiple times. It's what I like to call coach talk. I'm going to do what's best for the players, best for the players, best for the players. And I get that. I understand that. You want to put your players in the best position. So again, I'm going to agree with Bentley. I think his comments, how he said it, he probably could have worded it differently, but I got what he meant. Bill Simmons, I get what he's saying is he's playing scared football. But I will say this. I think there have been a lot of questions, and I think what's been frustrating for me is in the offseason, I thought a shoo-in for the job was Mike Vrabel. And again, we're just going to jump into this real quick. Mike Vrabel, when he played for the Titans, he took over that job. The Titans were not playing well. He brought him to an AFC championship his second year there, had made it the playoffs 3 years in a row, and then kind of was trending on the downward direction. But again, we live in a time where in football, if you don't do what we want you here and now, then it's see you later. Go find something else. Again, I lean on the side that the New England Patriots had Gerard Mayo as a player. They had him as an assistant coach all the way up, and they had been grooming him, supposedly, obviously, for this head coaching role as soon as Bill Belichick left. So I understand that, and there's nothing wrong with that, and I think people love them. But it makes me wonder, seeing how this season has played out so far, if they are having regrets. So I want you to comment below. Do you think the New England Patriots organization has had regrets when it comes to Gerard Mayo? Again, I think Mike Vrabel was a shoo-in. He had experience as a head coach. That transition from having a guy who was arguably one of the best, if not the best coach in NFL history, and then going to someone that has that potential, who played there and has had head coaching experience, step into that role would be probably better than someone coming in, yes, sure, he was under Bill Belichick, but a much different coach than Bill Belichick. What is your response to that? Again, some people wanted Mike Vrabel. I think others didn't. But it surprises me even, too, that Mike Vrabel didn't even get another head coaching job, because I think that the trend right now is people getting these younger coaches, really offensive mind coaches coming in. And so comment below. Tell me what you think. Again, I do truly believe that the New England Patriots at time this season have regretted Gerard Mayo. But again, I am giving him the benefit of the doubt on his quotes that he said, and the media trying to twist that to make a story, because when you're losing, they're going to take anything they can and put it against you. I definitely don't disagree with that right there. And again, but I'm also going to say this, and I want to stand with this. I'm a true believer in you got to trust the process. If he comes in year 2 and does the exact same thing with more talent, then I think your seat is incredibly hot where you can't even sit down anymore. But again, we look at, I like bringing the example of the Houston Texans, because I think the Houston Texans are somewhat of an outlier in this sense. But I do think the New England Patriots have pieces in place where if they got acquired some other talent, that they could be good and they could make a push at the playoffs. I'm saying next year. I'm not saying this year. But you look at the Houston Texans, they had Lovie Smith, and then they fired him after literally a 3-win season and a horrendous season, did awesome in the draft, and then came back and literally made the playoffs and made it to the second round. So again, I'm not saying fire Gerard Mayo. And some of you might comment below and say, yes, he needs to be gone. And I've seen that in the prior video. Some people comment that as well. But I think at times he needs to be given the benefit of the doubt. I think we need to trust the process. But at the same time, if they came out and said, you know what, I think we regret what we did, we want to go a different direction, that's something where it's like, listen, I can't do anything. Literally, I teach high school PE, and I make these videos for fun. So who are they going to care what I think? But again, I think we look at some other coaches besides Mike Vrabel. I think there's 2 coaches. So this is just a list of coaches that are kind of on that, hey, probably will get a head coaching job at some point. And there's 2 on this list that I really like. First is Kellen Moore. He played quarterback at Boise State, was in the NFL for 6 years as a backup role, but he is a very great offensive-minded coach. He really understands the game. He's 36 years old. He's barely older than me, and he understands the game. Again, this would be an interesting hire just because he has never been a head coach, but he has proven himself as an offensive coordinator at multiple different positions. So again, that would be an interesting hire, but I like that. And I'm not saying this is what they need to do, but I definitely enjoy flirting with the idea. The second one, and I think that is going to be the biggest head coaching, the head coach that people are going to want to hire, or offensive coordinator, is Ben Johnson from the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions offense has absolutely dominated. Here's some wild stats for you. First of all, since I believe their inception in the NFL, they have only had 2 games over 50 points in that span of time since the AFL-NFL merger. In this season alone, they have had 3. They have played lights out on offense, and Ben Johnson can call some fun plays, and he knows how to put his players in the best positions. So again, that would be a very interesting hire. And the reason I bring that up, again, I'm not sitting here saying they need to fire Gerard Mayo. I'm not saying that. You might say that. Again, I think 2 years minimum to see. Let's trust the process and see where it goes. But again, if they were to say, hey, we regret this, we want to move on, then I think that would be the direction they should go, is one of those younger guys. Again, I understand they have no head coaching experience. And so in that case, if they were going to go Vrabel, I would have no issue with that either. But again, this is all speculation. This is just talk. Comment below. Tell me if there are any other names that you've thought of. Again, you might say, let's fire Gerard Mayo today. You might say, let's give him 3 years. Comment below. Tell me what you think. Next up, here we go. There we go. Patriots vet's job no longer safe. This vet is Mr. Joey Sly. So Joey Sly, he got the old doink off the field goal post, and as a fan, you're watching that. And ever since that moment at the end of the first against the Dolphins, it was downhill from there. Now, if you look at statistically, he's made 19 out of 23, perfect from 20 to 29, missed 1 between 30-39, missed 2 between 40-49, and 50 plus. He's 3 or 4. Honestly, it's not bad. He's missed a PAT, which was not ideal, but obviously we know backing the PAT up they did years ago has made it a little more difficult. He has a franchise record 63-yard field goal. Again, I don't think I think putting out articles like this is trying to play the name game. I think the last thing the Patriots need right now is to say, hey, we're gonna drop our kicker and we're gonna pick someone else up, because you're not guaranteed to pick someone else up who's gonna do any better. 19 and 23 is not bad. I think he's doing better than Chad Ryland did last year. And so again, it is what it is. It is what it is. The doink was awful. It almost snuck in. He's the opportunity where Gerard Mayo could have went for a field goal but put it instead. I think that probably psychologically, mentally really hurt Joey Slye. That probably was not a great idea on Gerard Mayo's part. I do think, going back to what Bill Simmons said, that is playing scared football. Either go for it, my gosh, or kick the field goal. One of the two. Don't punt the ball. Play aggressive football. And so again, they went for yesterday on 4th and 15, but I mean at that point it was getting too late in the game. So again, comment below. Tell me what you guys think this whole Gerard Mayo situation, where you would like to see it go. Do the Patriots have regrets, do you think? As well as this whole Joey Slye situation, let me know. This is Sports Talk Patriots. My name's Aaron. We'll talk later. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. Peace.